anything about hairstyles, our communities.
I'm gonna talk about it again, so I told y'all so.
Our culture.
I am a Sam Smith. I will be Sam's representative.
Our stories.
It's also not a requirement for you to agree. Our opinions.
This is the Culture Report.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Culture Report. We got an exciting one for you, so I'm gonna toss it over to Alexia.
All right, guys. So as we close out Women's History Month, we want to put a spotlight on a local organization here in Colorado that is making sure young girls grow up loving their natural hair. Here with us today is Analise Goree. She is the founder of Curls on Their Block, a Colorado nonprofit that uses science and self-acceptance to help young girls love their curly hair. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. So happy to have you. So I want to talk a little bit more about, Curls on Our Block and you. So how did this all come about?
Well, Curls on the Block started about 5-6 years ago now, and so I was a special education teacher in Denver Public Schools, and I was on the front lines watching young girls really struggling to feel accepted in the school environment.
So what are y'all doing exactly? So somebody comes in, what do y'all have going on in there?
That's a great question. It depends on the day. No, but at the core, the mission is to encourage young girls to embrace, explore, and empower their natural selves using beauty to connect with STEAM. And as an educator, I'm trying to make sure the girls are prepared after they leave the academic environment for a career. And so that's the connection with STEAM. When they figure out the right chemicals to make their hair look how they want, you're a chemist, you're a biologist a little bit. Yeah, look, yeah. So one of the most favorite programs that is requested or that is a staple in the curriculum is making flaxseed hair gel. And so we use a scientific method to build the steps to create their own hair care product that at that point they can take home and replicate again on their own. And it's fairly affordable, flaxseed and some water. And so when they use the scientific method, it's been an opportunity to dig deeper into their academics and make that connection where before, in addition to their lower self-esteem sometimes, their lower academic performance was impacted as well. So I'm building bridges all throughout the curriculum. So the flaxseed is a favorite, and I personally like when the girls learn how to do their own head wrap. Yes, come to school with the head wrap.
So can you break down what STEAM is?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And it's pretty much an acronym that is used in education because it's too much to say each one of them. But the students usually have a connection to them throughout the school day from their classes in mathematics or even social studies, something like that. But STEAM overall is an area where girls are underrepresented, and typically that gap widens from 6th grade to 7th grade. So you have like all the girls are powerhouses in math and elementary, and then all of a sudden, well, what do we notice happens? Well, they start caring a little more about how their appearance is in the school. Don't get it twisted. They care at 5. They care. But by 11 and 12, they're in charge of their look a little bit more and more responsive to peer input.
I'm here. I know it's so easy, especially when you have hair that you feel like is untamable. And I feel like it's so easy to reach for relaxers or the magic potion, the creamy crack, whatever they call it. It's so easy, but like you say you want people, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but you say you want people to embrace their natural curls. So for like maybe the girls or anybody out there that may be in that situation where they have relaxer right now and they're like, oh, well, I have bad hair now. Like, is it too late for them?
Well, to me, I stay away from even untamable. Some of these words have really negative connotations, and that's what's impacting their self-esteem. One of the things that I encourage is to have healthy hair. So my tagline, stay curly. Well, that's an option. But what's more important is if you're having healthy hair, whether it's with natural hair care products or understanding the impact and the bonds that are breaking when you have a chemical relaxer, what it's actually doing to your hair. That empowers empowers those girls and women and men to use the products appropriately and understand the impact that it could have. You might end up having to shave it off if you want to have your curls back. Just know that, you know, and to actually maintain it. That's the difference. A lot of times people are trying a little too much in the experimentation and without education. And in fact, you asked about programming. We do compare the products. So we look at different hair care products that you can buy at the grocery store or a natural products store, as well as what you could make from natural ingredients and compare the result. Or compare if it's got a certain alcohol in it. Parabens, a lot of us are seeing that alcohol-free, paraben-free, and what does that actually mean, and what do those products do to your hair? So why is my hair curly? We explore that.
Oh, I love it. I've seen too, like, even, you know, this is the academic level, but once they go into like the workforce, like to be able to embrace that. I worked for an employer once that wrote somebody up basically because they had some sort of braid or cornrow, but you don't understand like how difficult it is to take care of hair. Like, have you ever experienced anything like that?
One thing I found, everyone has hair or issues with it. So with Girls on the Block, I've had young girls, and I know we're going to get to the workplace, but we've had young girls with straight hair, Mexican girls with cousin with curly hair, white girls with curly hair, black girls with permed hair. And so the conversation continues with the Crown Act actually in Colorado. And so we're able to share why we wear protective hairstyles and what it does for our hair. So we may not have to wake up and do 2 hours worth of hair every single day. And in regard to encouraging employers to be more culturally sensitive and aware of their impact in the workplace. It happened to me. I wore 2 Bantu knots in the back out. I was fly according to the curly girl standards. However, I was made fun of by a superior and called Mickey Mouse the entire day and laughed at. And that's a really low level, you know, teasing or harassment really. But other women are losing jobs or told if they don't change or cover their hair, you know, they won't be able to show up to work, and that impacts, you know, the household overall. But in Colorado, it's illegal now, so
I love it.
you got to change that.
Well, the work that you're doing is so important,
Yeah.
so I really appreciate you for doing it, and thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
stopping by the Culture
Absolutely.
Report.
This week is the last week of Women's History Month. This month we talked a lot about the issues women face every day. But this week we want to spotlight the women that make us us. Well, when me and Laura went to MSU Denver, we asked some of the girls on campus who they looked up to in their lives. Here's what they had to say.
I look up to my sister, mostly because like I saw her, how she like fought for her work pay, how she made herself in like the business, and how she's growing from that, and she's only 22.
My sisters, and I think it's like your family, like those women who really set the tone for you.
I would look up to my mom. She's the only woman that I look up to in my house, and it's very empowering to see that she still furthers her education to this day despite any setbacks from my dad, who's very strict to the old traditional Mexican type of household, and I'm very honored that she doesn't let that interfere with her education.
I think it's my sister. She moved out of the house when she was 18 just because of the struggles that I've had being a first-generation family and not having the support financially or from our parents. And she went to college and paid for her education by herself, so I really look up to her.
Probably my mom. My mom raised a family and then also had to work before that and during, and so but she's had multiple careers, multiple jobs, and you know, she did it. She was a single mom for a little bit too, so that really inspired me to be a hard worker and look up to that and support women.
And you know, she really inspires me, especially for school, because she's also in school right now. I don't know why I'm doing so much in that. But yeah, I would say my mom.
Oh, God, I love that was very emotional. Well, I mean, we love women, especially women we look up to. Alexia, I want to ask you, who do you look up to?
I would say, like those girls, like most of them said, my mom, you know. I mean, the women in your life always make you who you are, like I said earlier. So I think my mom's definitely inspired me to just be like a strong, independent woman. And I think that's what I've become over the years, and just be able to stand up for myself. And I think I'm very lucky to have my mom, and she's just raised me. That's what everyone says. How about you, Jamal?
Of course, my mom. Are you kidding? My mom is amazing. I love her so much. She's an icon. She is a legend. She made me. So we love that. I mean, like, what doesn't she do? I mean, I know she's so sweet. I love her so. I know, right? Come on, face. But no, she's so sweet. Like, even when we, like, you know, be having it out, like, I still love her so much. She's a nurse. She's amazing. I've seen her go through school. Like, she's faced so much, and she's always come out on top. So, Mama, I love you.
Oh, I love it.
Laura?
I'm with both of these guys as well. My mama, you know, I just remember seeing her, you know, as a single mom for a while. And I think she was the first one in the family to actually like separate and take care of 5 kids. So she's just hardworking, loving, and just very courageous. And to this day, like starting her business, just, you know, very limited opportunities for her. And she made it work. So.
Love it. All right, Ashton, you are the last one. What do you...
It's my cousin / someone that I call my sister because we grew up together. She is resilient. She's the hardest working person I know. Yeah, she's like my person, like the person I can go to and talk about anything. So I have no clue where I would be without her. So yeah, her.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you to the women in our lives.
I got you right here. So. Thank you. Thank you to all the women in our lives. We love you.
Love that.
Right now, people across the nation are calling for stricter gun laws in wake of yet another school shooting. 3 children and 3 adults were killed Monday when a gunman shot up a school in Nashville. Many are calling out hypocrisy within select legislatures for fast-tracking other bills proposed under the guise of protecting children, though they seem to be dragging their feet when it comes to the leading killer of children, which is gun violence.
Yeah, so this week Utah signed 2 laws that would restrict children using the use of social media. So that bill would take effect next year. It would call for social media companies to verify users' ages and set a curfew for teens under 18.
And Tennessee is now the first state to criminalize drag performances. The new bill, which takes effect April 1st, restricts adult cabaret entertainment on public property or in locations where it can be viewed by minors. Lawmakers in at least a dozen other states have proposed similar measures.
And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is back at it again. His administration is now moving to expand the controversial Don't Say Gay law to Florida high schools. The new proposal would ban lessons on gender identity and sexual orientation from 4th to 12th grade. So basically all the public schools. So.
Right. There's a lot to get into here, but like, the biggest question I have all the time when this pops up is, why do you need an AR-15? Thankfully, the Washington Post and Ipsos did a poll on this. Take a look at this graph. But 33% of the people say they use it for protection. About another 30% say they use it for like target practice or fun. And there are like 12%, I believe, that say they use it for hunting. I can say that if you need an AR-15 to hunt,
right,
you should choose a different hobby. Right. Not take an AR-15.
And what in the wild will require AR-15?
I wish.
Why would a civilian need that? I don't get that. I mean, I could see like somebody, you know, a police officer, they are constantly protecting people, but a civilian? That just makes no sense to me. And then you hear people, they're like, you want to ban assault weapons, a gun can do that, it can be used as assault. So what's the argument then? If a small one can do it, why do you need an AR-15?
I think it's just to show it off and to say that they have it. I know that's one of the reasons.
That it was one of the reasons. Yeah, some just say like, oh, it looks cool. I think it was 6%. And then like there was another 3% that said there were 2% they say they just did it to make liberals angry and because it caused fear in other people.
But what gets lost in this is like the protection of children. So we go back to it like gun violence is leading cause of children death.
The number one.
In this country, which is crazy.
Which is why I don't understand. They're like, oh, like for the past few months, we just keep seeing legislation passed that's really under the guise of, oh, we want to protect our kids. Like, guns are killing our kids, not drag queens.
Yeah.
They keep saying they want to protect kids. They keep saying, like, don't have an abortion, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, when you're forcing these women to have children, and then they're going to be sent to school where they're eventually, you know, if they're never going to pass anything, They're having like school drills, you know, to prepare them in case somebody comes in to harm them, God forbid, you know, kill them. I mean, that's not normal. How are other countries observing us? That's just
ghetto.
Just a few days ago, the House Majority Leader was talking about it, and he was saying how upset he gets when people use tragedies like this to, you know, push their agendas, their political agendas, especially without knowing all the facts. But I'm like, the fact is that someone went into a school and kill 3 kids. I'm like, that's a
We're
fact.
talking about it all the time, like it keeps happening and keeps happening. So when is it like, I really thought after Sandy Hook, which was
like 10 years ago.
Yeah, over 10 years ago, I thought like we would see like really, really, really big change and nothing really happened.
To this year, we've already had over 100 mass shootings, and we're only in March. I mean, I don't know what that tells people, but there's clearly a problem.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know.
His solution, he says we really need to focus on mental health and securing schools, which yes, sure, of course, we should have that defense, but I mean that defense, but I'm like, why are we not, I feel like it's like, let's say there's a crack in a dam and there's a little water leaking and there's a simple solution for it and everybody's looking at that crack like, we should invest in boats. Like, to fix the crack.
Oh, it's so funny, but
I don't know, but I feel like that's why it's, so important to vote.
But why is that lagging? Oh,
yeah, no,
real quick.
Go to it.
I was just gonna say, why is it lagging so much to like pass some gun, reform something? But the other ones pass like they're just fast tracking through those, like they're going fast. So
quick to ban the drag show.
Because they don't want
drag shows. We have the textbooks in Florida. Why can't we learn about certain things?
Because they infringe on their constitutional rights. Like, I mean, the Second Amendment's cool. Like, I think if you want a gun, fine. I know. Well, I believe you feel differently.
I mean, I don't understand that completely. That's a whole different other argument. I don't understand the need for guns. Like, especially now that we see it's so rampant and so dangerous. Like, you can't go to the grocery store, the movie theater, your home. Like,
we're in fear of going anywhere. Why do I have to think about like if I'm at the mall? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. Right. Same with the kids. You're sending your kids to school. Like, are they gonna come back home? I don't know.
But to your point, that's why it's important that we vote. So
It is important to vote. So if you want to see legislation like that pass, our race and culture contributor Shay Johnson actually spoke a bit about why it's so important, especially for young people to get out and vote in local elections. Take a listen.
And younger voters, this is the time now. I always tell younger voters, if you think it doesn't matter now, guess what? In 4 years, you're going to realize how much it does matter. And so the vote that you did or did not cast is going to absolutely make a difference, right? So the people that we're putting in now today, the things are going to show up years later. The impact is going to be forever. So we have to get in touch now. We have to vote as young voters. I remember being like, I don't care who my city council person is. What does that matter to me? And then I start looking at things, and I'm looking at now zones changing and different things happening, gentrification and all these things. And I'm like, oh, that's why it mattered. I get it now. And so I absolutely say, young voters, your vote matters and it counts. And trust me, if you don't think it counts now, you will look back and you will see the changes that happened while you sat back and did not take part in the vote.
Yeah, so for many people, especially young people, they love to complain. They love to get on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and talk about how, like, oh, I can't believe this is happening, yet they're not voting in election, like, on the local level. All they care about is, like, the presidential election. I'm like, you do know, like, within your state, like, you can make change in your state if you just vote. Like, these are the people that directly impact you.
Like that's what your property taxes, my goodness, like just little things that you don't think about. You're like, oh, this is a lot higher. Did you vote?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to get out there, guys, for sure. So
absolutely. Go vote. Go vote.
Okay, so Friday we celebrate International Transgender Day of Visibility and the contributions of trans people, especially Black and brown trans women who have paved the way for LGBTQ plus equality around the world. It can't go unnoticed. Their resilience, bravery, and advocacy have inspired generations. So queer pioneers such as Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera trailblazed the path for LGBTQ people to exist today safely, or at least a little bit. Their role in the Stonewall riots, an important part of queer history, spurred a movement that pushed equality for LGBTQ plus people to higher grounds. So their contributions can't go unacknowledged today. And recently, GLAAD released its annual Where Are We on TV report that shows exactly where LGBTQ plus representation is across TV networks, cable, and streaming for 2023 and 2022. And this year's report shows the representation is down, but racial diversity is up. So I guess my question is to y'all, like, why do y'all think that is? What do you think is impacting the decline in LGBTQ representation in media?
Well, all this rhetoric.
Bingo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't agree. Me and my kooky mind, I think that that's only going to fuel people to want to put those queer characters on TV more.
Yes, but the people that are making decisions to put those shows on their networks, like, I think the stat was 24% of queer characters were on shows that were canceled. So this past year, we had a whole bunch of shows that were canceled. Like, I think of Legendary, which was on HBO Max, which was a trailblazing.
Had a great following.
Yeah, I love that show. It was probably one of my favorite shows, and that got canceled, and that really hurt, like, the Black queer community. And so, yeah, it's things like that, decisions like that.
I also feel like maybe possibly, like in 2020, everybody was on top of everything. They said, okay, we need to get every color, every gender, every 2020 was the year for representation. It lit a fire under their butts. I feel like maybe now they're getting like a little tired. They're like, oh, well, we did enough. I feel like there's enough saturation out there now. We can uncheck that box.
Well, racial diversity is up.
So
I'm
always hoping it's not a trend, and it seems to that have been what happened, you know? Yeah. Like you said, it just all of a sudden got really high, and then now we're on the decline. So did it pass?
I don't know. I have so many thoughts.
Or are the showrunners like mad about all the backlash they get about this? I don't know. Like we saw like The Last of Us a few months ago where all the queer characters and people were so mad, and those were the lowest rating episodes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, and I don't understand why.
It's so weird because from critics, they were like, the best, as far as quality goes, like some of the best episodes of TV they've seen.
That queer episode was amazing.
Yeah,
I love
but
that
I remember seeing an article saying like that was the lowest rated episode, like lowest viewed episode. So I don't know.
Hopefully
people can just accept.
You better keep talking about it. If you keep talking about it, then I mean they're gonna be more inclined to do it.
Keep creating. I think that's a big part of it too. Keep creating and like advocating for your art and what you want to see on TV in that representation. I always say advocate.
Yep.
Yeah, it's important for young people to see those characters and
see themselves.
Look up to them. Yeah, for sure.
All righty. So we're going to head into our good news of the week. Looks like those glass slippers still fit because actress Brandy is returning as Cinderella in the new Disney Plus musical, The Descendants, The Rise of the Red. The singer first starred as Cinderella opposite of the legendary Whitney Houston and her prince Paolo Montalban in 1997. Disney has not yet announced a release date.
And Karol G is making history as the first Latina to headline the popular music festival Lollapalooza. The Colombian superstar will headline alongside Kendrick Lamar, Billie Eilish, and more in Chicago in August. There are a number of big acts set to take place at the stage, but only Karol G is making history with her performance.
All right, and Moana star I can't even say her name, I'm sorry. Kaval, you made a big statement at the premiere of The Power. The actress wore a red lipstick-made handprint across her mouth and face to raise awareness on missing Indigenous women and girls. She told Entertainment Weekly, "I feel like I had to put my money where my mouth was."
All right, and Bad Bunny is making history again. He's on the Time magazine's first ever all-Spanish cover, which is just a reflection of the Bad Bunny's unwavering domination of pop culture, especially in recent years. All from being authentically himself in everything he does. So shout out to you, Benito. We love you. All right, thank you for joining us for this episode of The Culture Report. We'll be back to continue the conversation next Thursday right here on our free 9 News Plus app and 9news.com.